Hey guys, welcome to my masterclass. This one I'm really excited for. We're going to be talking about the absolute massive opportunity right now for real estate investors in blockchain. I am extremely passionate about this. I'm excited to share with you some of the things that I see and some of the opportunities I think are going to be there for the next decade or more for us real estate investors. So let's talk about each one of these one by one. First one I want to talk about is business treasury and earning passive income. Now, I have done a previous masterclass on how to use DeFi to build a business treasury so that you can create passive income to do whatever you want, right? I use it to fund my business. You can use it to fund your vacations. You use it to fund whatever preferences you have in life, right? But the point is right now is an incredible opportunity for us as real estate investors to continue earning passive income from alternative sources, right? I see crypto as a fantastic way to diversify into a massive emerging asset. What we show as part of the Whale Club, and in fact, most of this is free, right? If you just join our Discord, we've got all the free videos showing you how to get into this, how to do all the button pressing, speaking the language of crypto, all that. And I realize there's a massive language barrier. So we are trying to help people kind of get over that language barrier, because the biggest opportunity, as I see it, is to earn passive income immediately. We're talking consistent returns off of stable coins that you can use to acquire a whole bunch of different types of coins. Again, I don't want to get into that too deep, but go back and watch the masterclass we did on using DeFi to earn passive income and build a business treasury. So the passive income to me is massive, but this concept of the business treasury was new to me. I've heard a lot of people, especially as the market sort of shifted, using this phrase, be your own bank. So maybe you've heard that before too. That is really what we're doing here. It's another way of saying business treasury is be your own bank. What do you notice about the Fortune 500 companies and the centralized entities like banks and things like this, especially banks, right? These companies and entities operate as a bank. When you put money into a bank account, that doesn't just sit there. They take it and they lend it out to earn interest other places. That's the same thing that Fortune 500 companies do. I give the example all the time mostly because Dan Nicholson, who has taught us most of these certainty operating principles, he helped Microsoft in the early 2000s design their business treasury. Microsoft manages several $100 billion in assets. Do you really think that Microsoft is just sticking that in a bank account? Absolutely not. They leverage it like an investment account, just like banks do. Unfortunately, this information has not been shared with us in schools. We were not taught how to do this, especially even in business school and things like this. Small business owners have an opportunity to learn how to behave similarly to some of these larger Fortune 500 companies and banks. That's what we're trying to do. The financial education of using decentralized finance to build a business treasury, I mean, it has been invaluable for me in my business. I went from basically being deal to deal to having a treasury that kicks out enough cash flow to offset the majority of my operating expenses. I've still got a little ways to go to get it to completely covering every expense in my business, but my goal is to have my business run at net zero. Whether we do a deal or not, I don't need to worry because I've got enough passive income coming from my treasury. This is how we build bulletproof businesses over time. We learn to behave like banks. We learn to have our operating business, whatever it is we do. It's flipping houses, it's wholesaling, it's retail, it's development, whatever. You have that side of your business, but can we also operate as a bank as well? The bank being a place that we can borrow against from our business if we need to. And it also is producing cash flow that supports the operating side of our business. Crypto is not the only way to do this. There are so many other mechanisms that we study inside the Whale Club. crypto just happens to be a fantastic opportunity right now. DeFi just happens to be an opportunity that gives us a massive amount of upside with very little downside if you know how to approach it. So the one that I'm the most excited about, and again, if you haven't seen this masterclass, go back and watch that one on how to earn passive income with DeFi and how to build a business treasury. It's extremely, extremely valuable. I think everyone in the real estate investing space, if they can understand that our approach is not buying coins low and selling it high, we are not gambling here. We are taking a very systematic approach to create and manufacture upside. We want to reduce as much downside as possible. So again, go watch that video if you haven't seen it already. All right, the second thing I'm extremely excited about is something called real estate tokenization. You might have heard me talk about this. And what an opportunity blockchain has afforded us. What's going on right now? And I'm probably going to do another video to really expand on this because I've got a lot to say about this, but I'm going to try to squeeze this into, the next maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So what we've got here is a $1 trillion crypto market. And for scale, $1 trillion in crypto, that's made up of 20,000 coins. We're talking Bitcoin, ETH, Dogecoin, like Shiba, Polygon, literally all of them. Add them all up. There's 20,000 of them out there. And if you add up the market cap of every single coin of those 20,000, you get just shy of $1 trillion. Now that market cap was as high as, I want to say, like 2.8 trillion before this most recent pullback, but we're at about $1 trillion right now. Let's use some scale to understand how does that relate to other things? Because I understand that $1 trillion, it's like very abstract. Let's take the asset of gold, for example. Singular asset, one asset, not 20,000. Not Bitcoin versus gold. We're talking all 20,000 coins versus the singular asset of gold. The gold market cap right now is about $10 trillion. So the entire crypto market is 1/10 of a single asset of gold. Let's use another example. We're all probably familiar with BlackRock, the hedge fund out there. One of the largest in the world, but a singular entity. BlackRock has about 9.6, let's call it $10 trillion assets under management. That one company is 10 times the market cap of the entire crypto market. So what we're talking about here is first of all, a market that has, let's just say, a lot of room to grow. I don't know the timeline, but it's reasonable to assume, in my opinion, that the market cap of the entire crypto market will surpass the market cap of gold. That's my thesis, right? You can agree with that or not. I think that's fairly reasonable. How long is that going to take? I'm not sure. But what's going on right now is you've got $1 trillion in this market that's got a lot of potential to grow. I mean, just to get back to where we were is a 3x, right? Tripling the market cap, basically. So of all these 20,000 coins, what happens is we've had a lot of millionaires created, a lot of billionaires even created in the crypto market. These are people over the last 3-5 years, even last year, have made a lot of money. But they have very little knowledge or exposure outside of the crypto market or the businesses that they own and operate. Like, most of them aren't real estate investors, let's just say. And what we've found is that these crypto cowboys, as I call them, right? The folks who have done extremely well in crypto, they don't know how to buy real estate. We know this because we've got a massive community of crypto investors. The Whale Club is made up of both real estate investors and crypto investors. We've got probably 85 or so crypto investors now in our community. We've also got an entry into a significantly larger, let's just say, community of crypto investors. All of them are saying the same thing. They want real estate, but they don't know how to buy it. And the other thing is that they don't trust the central banks. So what's happening is, you know, I've got a lot of friends who have done really well in crypto. And what I'll say to them is, again, they don't have any experience in real estate, but I'll say to them, hey, let's invest in some real estate, right? If you pull some of that money out and lend it to me or partner with me, we can go execute on real estate deals. And what do they say? Well, I don't want to take my money and sell this, you know, crypto that I've got, and then, you know, send it back to Binance and then send it back to my bank account and then to your bank account. And then you invest it, and then it turns into cash flow, which has to go back to your bank account, back to my bank account, Binance, back into crypto. It's like, that's just too many steps. I think I'll just stay with where I'm at. So the problem is that it's too many steps for these folks to invest in real estate. So what's the solution? Tokenization. So what tokenization means is essentially turning the real estate asset. So in this case, I'm referring less to a singular asset like a single family home, and more to a fund or a syndication or a portfolio of these types of homes, right? It's actually, it doesn't really, the economies of scale don't work super well with a singular asset. But when you start talking about, let's say, a fund of single family rentals that's made up of 100 or however many rental properties, what we can do is we can tokenize that fund in the same way that you would create stocks in a company. So just like we buy stock in a company, you could buy tokens in a real estate fund. So in order to illustrate this, I like to talk about what's the difference between Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. The interface is almost identical. In fact, the logos almost look the same. Google Sheets did not innovate at all in the layout and the functionality of Google Sheets. They literally pretty much just copied Microsoft Excel. It's almost the same product except for one difference. It's on the internet. We don't have to download the Excel file anymore. I make my changes, rename it, send it back to you. You download it, make your changes. It's like the innovation was, it's the same thing. It's just on the internet. How is that applicable in our case? Well, crowdfunding already exists. Fundrise, GoFundMe. I mean, there's tons of real estate investing platforms out there. So the problem is that, again, the crypto people, they don't know any of these operators, first of all. And secondly, they don't want to like pull their money out of crypto back into the banking systems and then invest in real estate and have it come all the way back through the banking systems. They just want to be able to buy a coin that's pegged to that real estate. They want to come in and buy into a single family rental fund in the Southeast by just buying a coin. And not only that, they can build out their portfolio in the same way that crowdfunding is done, where, you can buy fractions of a share. Like you can buy, shares, right? You just chop it up into a bunch of pieces. One share could be $1,000. It could be $10,000. The point is significantly less than having to actually buy the real estate yourself. So all we're doing here is it's Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets. It's the same thing as buying into a fund. We're just making it accessible on the blockchain so that the folks that have all these millions, the $1 trillion that's in that crypto market has a way to downshift into more stable assets. Because right now, all they have to downshift into are large caps like Bitcoin and ETH. It's either that or they're pulling out their money to invest it back in their businesses. So what we're trying to do with real estate tokenization is not sell real estate to the real estate market. No real estate investor is going to go out and buy. I mean, this is debatable, but most real estate investors are not going to go out and buy crypto just to buy real estate. They're just going to use cash. Now, you could argue someone like myself, who's got a lot of crypto, that's also a real estate investor, might buy real estate through crypto. So if you can actually educate and onboard real estate investors into the crypto market and they've got a business treasury, it might actually make it easier for them to buy fractional ownership in different types of real estate. So you want to own real estate, you know, like I said, a single family rental fund in the Southeast. And then maybe you've got a multifamily syndication you want to invest in the Midwest. Maybe there's a short-term rental fund that operates in Southern California with these amazing mansions on the beach, right? And it's a short-term rental fund, or an industrial fund in the Northeast. I don't know. The point is you can build out in the same way that you would do like a mutual fund and have ownership in all these different types of properties. And you just own them by owning the coins, which again can be bought and sold. That's the opportunity. Is if we can educate, first of all, we educate the real estate market on what the real world application here is. First of all, there's an opportunity to educate the crypto market. So the real estate investors that already know real estate backwards and forwards, a lot of them have education products. There's an entire market sitting here that's craving for real estate education, and they don't know who to trust or where to go to. They're not looking on Bigger Pockets. They're not watching Steve Trang. They don't know these people. That's not their world. They trust the folks that are in crypto. We have their trust, and we can educate them on why real estate is such a fantastic way to lock in your wealth and financial certainty, so that the next bull run, when it rips, we give folks a way to downshift into significantly more reliable, stable assets, because right now they just don't have them. The opportunities aren't there unless they want to sell all their crypto and move it back into the banks and that entire process all the way around, like I was saying, but they don't and they won't. So we've got to meet them where they are. Real estate tokenization is going to completely change the way that we invest in real estate. That's my opinion. I think it's going to just revolutionize our industry. It's going to, not only is it going to allow us to sell and tap into a $1 trillion market cap that's probably going to grow significantly. At how high, I have no idea. But it seems like it can really only go up from here as more and more applications make it useful, right? This is why it's useful, because you can buy and sell real estate on the blockchain now. So first of all, we can sell and we can raise capital from a source that's completely untouched. It's completely untouched. And secondly, we can educate that market. So a lot of us have education products. Here's an entire market of folks that want and need to be educated on real estate. Huge, huge, huge opportunities. I can't understate it. So with that said, I'm also putting education products, like I was just talking about. I mean, and we're not talking about anything crazy here. I'm talking about, like, what are the 4 wealth drivers of real estate? You got appreciation, depreciation, loan pay down, and cash flow. Most of us that are in real estate, we understand those things. Crypto investors that are dealing with millions and millions of dollars of gains that need to be offset don't understand the tax benefits of real estate. They look and say, oh, 7, 8, 9, 10% return. I can get way more than that in crypto. We're solving a significantly bigger problem than cash flow for them, right? Which is, how do they offset these massive gains that they have? So we've got to educate folks on that. These education products are going to be critical, and the opportunity is massive. All right. Last thing I want to mention is data. We've got a lot of data providers in the real estate space. And let me give an example real quick. So what did Carfax do with cars? because Carfax is essentially a form of blockchain. I mean, they were well ahead of their time when they came out with this. What Carfax does is they track everything that's happened to that car directly to like the VIN number of the car. We can trace it directly with that car. So what's the first thing you say when you buy a used car? Show me the Carfax. Everyone says that. So it's extremely valuable, not only for buyers, but also for sellers. A seller that has kept up with all their records, that has done all their oil changes, that can show extremely clean Carfax, the car hasn't been any wrecks, whatever, they're going to get a higher value for their car than someone who doesn't have a Carfax or has negative things to show on the Carfax, right? So think about what would be possible if we could track data in the same way Carfax does with cars, but we could do it with houses. You could do it with businesses. The blockchain opens up such a massive opportunity. I'm going to put out some more videos. If you haven't seen my stories on blockchain, go check that one out. Because what blockchain really does is it provides a single source of information. In the same way that Carfax tracks that to the car, we can use data in the same way with blockchain. So we don't have two sets of data that have to be compared. It's like credit and debit. I don't want to get too far into this, but let's just say that if you are in the world of data, blockchain is going to present a significantly high upside to use this to improve your products that you already have, right? And to create additional value for your customers in the same way Carfax did. We can do the same thing with property facts, home facts, business facts. These are all things that are doable now that we have significantly more improved data, better verified data. Think what that does for, verifying anything on title, the title and ownership transfer. Although I think this is kind of a long ways down the road. There's a lot of barriers to that, to blockchain really diffusing into the title world. The opportunities are there. We've got several folks in the Whale Club who own title companies who are working on this right now because it's coming. It's a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. So data in terms of, title and ownership transfer, what smart contracts are going to be able to do for us to continue getting a singular source of information is just unbelievable. If you want to learn more about data specifically, I'm going to have a few videos on the YouTube channel about that, interviewing some of the data leaders in the real estate space, guys who run large data platforms, right? We're going to talk to them about how blockchain may impact their business over the next, 1, 3, 5, 10 years sort of thing. So I've got several other things on here as benefits, but in my mind, these are the 4 biggest opportunities right now, right, for real estate investors in this space. First is to develop this business treasury and earn passive income like instantly. It's financial education is what it is. You're able to create passive income, but you're also able to create significant reliability into your business through this program of, being your own bank, and DeFi allows us to do that. It's tough to find that in a centralized exchange. The opportunities just really aren't there. Second is real estate tokenization. This is going to allow real estate investors to tap into $1 trillion market for capital and an entire market for education products for folks that want to learn about real estate but have nowhere to trust, essentially. We're the leaders in the space. We have an opportunity to completely dominate this. I say it all the time. It's like a land grab right now. It's truly a land grab from this perspective right here. And then lastly, I would also agree this is a land grab, but data, blockchain technology, what it really does is it provides a better way to verify data because it's a single source. That is extremely advantageous to anyone running a data company or that is interested in better data. Most of us as business owners, we buy data. This is what we do. So it's massive opportunities there. I could probably talk about several other things, but I just wanted to get a few thoughts onto video here, where I see the massive opportunity for real estate investors in the blockchain space. You know, if you guys want to learn more about this, Steve and I talk about this on the Certainty Talks. I interview every single week members of the Whale Club on my Investor Frame podcast. We're talking about these specific applications and really how we're using what we learn in the Whale Club to apply it in the real world. How are we earning passive income? How are we creating products to tap into a new capital market? How are we leveraging education in this brand new market? And what are we going to do with the massive increase in data that blockchain helps us with? We have all these conversations on a weekly basis. So I'm going to throw the Discord link down and below. You guys know the drill by now. If you've seen all of my other master classes, we've got a ton of free information in the Discord. Additional to this, we're not putting it out to the public. It's free to everyone. You just got to join that Discord right there. So if you want to get a little bit more, you know, in depth, follow us down the rabbit hole, so to speak, of what's going on in this space of real estate and blockchain, jump into that Discord. It's completely free. And if you guys got any comments, if you enjoyed this, do me a favor and just like it and share this with somebody. That's extremely helpful to me as we're trying to get the word out there about the opportunities that are in this space. Again, hope you guys got a lot of value out of this, and we'll see you next time.